I'm 80 years old, and I need to tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. There are three things I waited my entire life to do, and that delay cost me more than you can imagine. And the worst part? You're probably making the same mistake right now. The people around you, your family, your friends, society, they're all encouraging you to wait, to be responsible, to put these things off until the right time. They're wrong. And by the time you realize it, it might be too late. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here because I'm running out of time. And these three things have haunted me for decades. If I can stop even one person from making my mistakes, then maybe my regrets will mean something. You think you have time. You think you'll get to those dreams eventually. You tell yourself, when I have more money, then I'll travel. When the kids are grown, then I'll pursue my passion. When I retire, then I'll finally live for myself. Let me save you 60 years of regret with one brutal truth. You're lying to yourself. That perfect moment you're waiting for, it doesn't exist. The conditions will never be ideal. The timing will never be perfect. You're just finding excuses to stay comfortable, to stay safe, to avoid risk. And every day you wait, you're making a choice. You're choosing safety over living. You're choosing someday over today. I did this for 6 decades. And now I'm 80, looking back, and the pain of what I didn't do is worse than any failure could have been. Here are the 3 things I waited too long to do. The 3 regrets that keep me awake at night. The 3 mistakes you need to avoid. You think you'll travel when you retire, when you have time, when you save enough money, when the kids are older, when work slows down. I waited until I was 71 to take my first real trip abroad. 71. My wife had been asking for 40 years. Let's go to Italy. Let's see Greece. Let's explore Japan. And I always had the same responses. We can't afford it right now. Maybe next year. I can't take time off work. At 71, we finally went to Italy. And you know what I felt? Rage. Not joy, rage. Because everything I had imagined in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, I could have done it. We could have afforded it. We could have made it work. I just chose not to. I chose the illusion of security over actual experience. We walked through Rome, and my knees hurt. We climbed stairs in Florence, and I needed to stop every few steps to catch my breath. My wife wanted to take a gondola ride in Venice, but I was too tired, too old, too broken down. The body you have right now? That's the best body you'll ever have. It's only going to get worse from here. Your knees will hurt more. Your back will ache. Your energy will fade. The adventurous trips you dream about? They're only getting harder. I had a friend, Robert, who put off traveling his entire life. Worked at the same company for 38 years. Retired at 65 with a nice pension. He and his wife planned a trip around the world. They were going to spend a full year traveling. They bought the tickets, made all the reservations. 3 months before they were supposed to leave, Robert was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Dead within 6 months. Never took that trip. Never saw the world. All those years of waiting, and he ran out of time. At his funeral, his wife showed me their itinerary. Every destination, every hotel, every experience they had planned. She kept it in her purse. She carries it everywhere. A reminder of everything they'll never do. Is that going to be you? I spent 43 years in a career I didn't care about. 43 years. Insurance adjuster. Day after day, year after year, evaluating claims, filling out forms, sitting in meetings about policies and procedures that meant nothing to me. You know what I actually loved? Woodworking. Creating things with my hands, the smell of sawdust, the satisfaction of transforming raw lumber into something beautiful. But that wasn't practical. That wouldn't pay the bills. That was just a hobby. So I kept my real passion locked in the garage. Weekends only, maybe a few hours here and there. Always telling myself I'd do more someday. When I retired. When I had time. At 65, I finally retired. Finally had time. You know what happened? My hands had arthritis. My eyesight was fading. My body couldn't do the physical work anymore. All those projects I imagined. All those pieces I wanted to create. Too late. My body had given out. I made exactly 3 pieces in retirement before the pain became too much. 3. In 43 years of dreaming, I managed 3 pieces. You think your passion can wait. You think you'll get to it eventually. You won't. You know why? Because you're already choosing against it every single day. Every day you pick the responsible choice over the thing that makes you feel alive. You're making a decision. You're deciding that your passion doesn't matter as much as comfort, security, approval. And here's the thing nobody tells you. The regret of not trying is so much worse than the regret of trying and failing. I know a woman, Sandra, who wanted to be a painter. Had real talent, but her parents pushed her into accounting. Art doesn't pay the bills. So she became an accountant. Good salary, stable career, 40 years in a job that slowly suffocated her soul. She died at 72. Heart attack. At her apartment, they found hundreds of paintings hidden in a closet. Paintings she made in secret, late at night, after her accounting work was done. Beautiful work. Work that no one ever saw. Work that died with her. Her daughter told me, my mother spent her entire life being who others wanted her to be. She never got to be herself. Don't let that be you. My brother and I had a falling out when I was 38. Stupid argument over money, pride on both sides. We stopped talking, and I kept telling myself we'd work it out eventually. We had time. We were both stubborn, but we'd come around. 30 years. 30 years of silence. 30 years of holidays where I wondered if he was okay. 30 years of seeing photos of his kids, my nieces and nephews growing up without knowing me. 30 years of carrying around this weight, this unresolved hurt. I finally reached out when I was 68. Sent him a letter, apologized, said I wanted to reconnect. You know what happened? He had died 2 years earlier. Liver failure, and I never knew. Never got to say I was sorry, never got to repair what I broke, never got those 30 years back. The relationships you're neglecting right now, with your parents, your siblings, your old friends, you think you have unlimited time to fix them, to reach out, to apologize, to reconnect. You don't. People die. Not someday, today, tomorrow, next week. And when they're gone, you don't get another chance. The things you meant to say stay unsaid forever. The apologies you planned to make never happen. The time you thought you had evaporates. My father died when I was 46. We had a distant relationship. He was critical, hard to please. I was always trying to earn his approval. We never really talked about anything that mattered. And I kept thinking, when I'm older, when I'm more successful, we'll have that conversation. We'll finally connect. He had a heart attack at 71, gone instantly. And you know what my last conversation with him was? An argument about my career choices. That's what I'm left with. 46 years. And the last thing I said to him was defensive and angry. There won't be more time. There won't be a better moment. Every day you wait is another day you'll never get back. After that mini stroke at 63, everything changed. I stopped waiting. Started doing. My wife and I began traveling. Not elaborate, expensive trips, just traveling. We went to national parks, took road trips, visited cities we'd never seen. We didn't wait for perfect conditions, we just went. I started woodworking as much as my body allowed, not in the garage anymore, in a small workshop I rented. I joined a local woodworking group, started teaching beginners, made friends who actually cared about what I cared about, and I reached out to everyone I had lost touch with. Old friends, distant relatives. I apologized where I needed to. I forgave where I could. I stopped carrying grudges that were poisoning me. These last 17 years have been harder physically. My body doesn't work like it used to. But they've been richer, fuller, more alive, because I finally stopped waiting for permission to live. The solution is embarrassingly simple. Stop waiting. Start living. Do the thing you're putting off. Today, not perfect, just start. Travel somewhere, anywhere. Pursue your actual passion. Mend the relationship you've been avoiding. Now let me ask you something. Answer honestly. If you died next month, would you regret the things you didn't do? The trips you didn't take? The passion you didn't pursue? The person you didn't reach out to? If the answer is yes, what are you waiting for? But I can't afford to travel right now. You can afford something. A weekend trip, a road trip, a flight to somewhere you've never been. Stop waiting for the perfect, expensive dream vacation. But I have responsibilities. So did I. And I let those responsibilities become excuses for never living. But what if I fail at my passion? You'll fail. So what? At least you'll have tried. At least you won't be 80, wondering what could have been. But that relationship is complicated. They all are. Reach out anyway. Apologize anyway. Try anyway. Because complicated is better than too late. You have a choice today, right now, this moment. Keep waiting. Keep telling yourself someday. Keep putting off the life you actually want to live until the perfect conditions arrive. They won't. And you'll wake up one day, old like me, filled with regrets. Or stop. Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop letting fear and comfort steal your life from you. I'm 80 years old. If I'm lucky, I have 5 more years. 10 at most. Probably less. And I'm at peace with that. You know why? Because these last 17 years, I finally started living. Not perfectly, not ideally, but intentionally. Here's the irony. When you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start living now, imperfectly, messily, scared, that's when life actually begins. All those years I spent preparing to live? Wasted. The living happened when I finally stopped preparing. You can keep living the way you're living. Waiting for someday. Putting off that trip to Italy you've dreamed about since college. Delaying the conversation with your father that needs to happen. Telling yourself you'll start that business next year. Convincing yourself you have time. You tell yourself, when I save more money, when the kids are older, when work calms down, when I'm ready. But here's what I learned after 60 years of waiting. You're never ready. The money is never enough. Work never calms down. And time? Time doesn't wait for anyone. Or you can wake up, right now, today, and start. I spent 40 years in a job that paid well, but hollowed me out inside. I told myself I'd write that novel after retirement. I'd learn Spanish someday. I'd visit my sister in Portland when things settled down. She died 3 years ago. We hadn't spoken in 5. The novel, still unwritten, the Spanish, I can barely order coffee. Don't be 80 with my regrets. Don't wait 60 years to figure this out. Don't sit in a quiet house, surrounded by comfort you traded your dreams for, wondering where it all went. Travel now while your knees still work. Pursue your passion now, while your hands are steady and your mind is sharp. Fix that relationship now, before pride and time make it impossible. The daughter I barely know because I worked 70-hour weeks? She's 40 now, has her own family. We're cordial, polite, but we're strangers. I missed her childhood for conference calls I can't even remember, for promotions that meant nothing, for a corner office that feels like a tomb. I can't give you back the years I wasted. I can't undo the moments I missed, the sunsets I didn't watch, the hands I didn't hold, the risks I didn't take because I was too busy being responsible, being practical, being safe. But I can tell you this, you don't want to end up where I am looking back, wishing you had been braver, wishing you had said, I love you more, wishing you had gotten on that plane, wishing you had tried and failed rather than never tried at all. I'm not telling you to be reckless. I'm telling you to be alive, to feel something, to do something, to matter to someone while you still can. If this message hit you in the chest like it should, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below with the one thing, just one thing, you're going to stop waiting for. The conversation you'll have, the dream you'll chase, the person you'll forgive. Subscribe because I have more truths to share. Hard truths earned through decades of mistakes, and not much time left to share them. The clock is ticking. For all of us, every second you spend reading this is a second you'll never get back. Your parents are getting older. Your children are growing up. Your dreams are getting further away. Your someday is becoming never. So I'll ask you again, what are you going to do today? Not tomorrow. Not next month. Not when conditions are perfect. Today, right now. before you close this video and go back to waiting.